defaults to this. We're live there. Got people on YouTube. Should line up. Look at, oh, can you see everything? I think you can. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jeremy.
How's it going? How's your week been, George?
Just a bit full.
I know.
That's, I guess, pretty common for February, March time frame. There tends to be a lot going on in our part of the world.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of house cleaning and rearranging and stuff too. Yeah. So like, for some reason around this time of year, I start getting that like itch to do that. So I don't know if it's the weather change, but there's always something better that can be moved over here or rearranged, or this can be cleaned up that I've been piling stuff in, you know.
Oh, so you're looking to do some cleaning?
That's what I've been doing, yeah.
Oh. Well, you said you got an itch to do some cleaning.
You need some cleaning done, it sounds like, huh?
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not even a question, right?
I think I've only ever come across a couple people that really didn't need any cleaning done. They didn't do much except clean their house.
Right.
Their house was very clean. They were also, I think, looking for things to do. But anyway.
Yeah, there's so much distractions now. Like,
yeah. Well,
it's really hard to get into.
Hello to Poland. And I saw Price from Down Under. Someone else too here. Yeah. And hello, James Huston. So I see a question here, Jeremy, about offering tours for the shop. Do we do tours here?
Oh, please. Tours here? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd love to give someone a tour.
Yeah. And hello to Canada. Yeah, Canada's been in the news a little bit lately.
Yeah.
I can't think of all the reasons why, because I do my best to avoid the news, but I've heard things about Canada.
Unavoidable things, obviously.
Oh, a 3-hour tour.
I didn't think it was going to be any less than that.
We've had some tours that are 3 hours.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they might be a little bit longer than that.
Yep. It's kind of up to the tourist.
It kind of is, we like to try and get the tours, coordinated a little bit further ahead of time, so we can make sure we're ready for you. And it's ideal when we can have a few people kind of come together as a group.
A group tour.
I think that's best. We can line up some activities. Kind of like when you go to the distillery, you get to have like a tasting. You go to the brewery, you get to have a tasting.
We'll line out all kinds of different kind of apps.
I saw on this show where they were offering tours at the Swiss Army knife factory.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Where you get to build your own Swiss Army knife.
Cool.
I mean, how cool is that? Well, So
like, which tool you want in? Like,
yeah,
the mix of
exactly.
it?
You get to choose all the
that's
tools.
so
You build
cool.
your own Swiss Army knife. So
I have all scissors.
I was just thinking, fuck, we can have a build your own Dynavap too.
Oh, that's absolutely.
I mean, we've kind of done that at some festivals, haven't we?
Yeah, I have some experience in that, so, and it gets really fun and fascinating because there's quite a bit of combos that you can rearrange.
You want a daily vlog? Yes, please.
Yeah, that sounds fascinating and awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. We're gonna have some fun things when you get back down here, Rowan. I think we've been making some parts on the machines all weekend. Cool parts that make fun noises.
Oh. Speaking of Rowan,
Oh,
you see this yet?
that's pretty nice.
Yep. It's just a kind of I had to work on a mini,
Oh.
but one that he had done, but it didn't start out in this shape.
No, but
But I'm using both sides now separately, which
Okay.
I made 2 Dynavaps out of. So
Now, how interesting is that? So, so you cut a woodwind in half to get 2 mini winds.
and the mouthpiece, or the airport is so close to the mouthpiece that it's kind of like a mouthpiece.
Oh,
airport.
so it's a lip actuated
Yeah.
airport.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. I like it. So things just
Okay.
keep happening out of like just trial and error. You know what I mean?
Because they can. I mean, that's fantastic.
That's where all the greatest things have happened. Just like, oh wait, let me try that anyway, and then you kind of find something else out inside of it because you weren't going to try it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's a key part of the creative process, is not so much coming up with the idea as it is preparing yourself to not even necessarily allow the idea to come forth as much as it is allow yourself to see that it's already there.
Yeah, that's
Right?
That's what it is.
I think it's kind of a state of mind thing. Well, Face 8. Could you maybe send me a bit more information in terms of what you're talking about regarding the check pipe tool? I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
What is it? So many chats going on, I can't find this one. Oh, the check pipe tool, I see it. Twist.
Well, we're even behind on this chat. Well, good morning to Sweden. Will there ever be a full metal mini dyno, like a metal mini wind? I hope so.
Yeah, me too. That sounds great. I need more jewelry.
So, no, the shipping to Australia has been just a little bit of a challenge recently. It's not that we don't ship to Australia anymore. Just shipping in general has become more problematic,
Yeah.
and certainly more expensive than it used to be. We definitely do have a number of retailers in Australia, and in fact, kind of a cool thing, a lot of those retailers are now pharmacies.
Oh yeah.
So the way that some of the rules changed in Australia recently, our products are now sold in pharmacies.
Medical devices, right?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I love it.
And officially a medical device in places like Ohio, I think, and a few others.
Oh, I actually really enjoy some of the comments, especially the ones that maybe aren't quite appropriate to verbalize.
Yeah, I was reading.
Doesn't mean that they're good or bad, but I just find it interesting.
It's fun that it's there.
Yeah.
Time we got, should I share some of my stuff here? I got some cool things to share today.
Yeah, it was just I think it's good to just kind of chat for a bit as we're kind of getting everyone into the stream kind of mood, because here we are. I don't know how far behind the viewer counter lags, but on my end it says about 50 on YouTube and overall about 170. And it's kind of nice to just make sure we got a good number of people tuned in before we start going through some of the cool stuff.
Yeah. The mini does definitely give a different effect.
Yeah, I saw some of the silliness going on in Ohio. Don't quite understand, right? So I'm going to elaborate a little bit, and I may not have my details all correct.
No, please, I want to know. I'm curious.
But from what I recall, there's a whole lot of back and forth regarding Ohio doing what a lot of other states in the U.S. have done, and that's changing the classification of cannabis from illegal to regulated, right? And the key people in Ohio's government, just like most states, including Wisconsin, just couldn't get out of the way or couldn't come to resolution on actually doing it. So it just stayed in a not happening state, right? Well, then the voters passed a referendum to get a campaign or get a ballot initiative put on for the election that would basically take care of that, because their lawmakers and their legislators just weren't getting the job done. And even after that got approved, the people in government had an opportunity to modify it and or pass their own legislation versus what was going to be voted on by the people of Ohio.
Okay.
So they had more opportunity to do it the way that, according to the government, they thought it should be done. And they did nothing. So it came to the election, and the people voted on their ballot initiative, and it passed comfortably. The people in the government that didn't want to do anything to put their own stuff in place were surprised and shocked and rather upset that now all of a sudden the people spoke, did what they thought should be done, and now the government was trying to catch up and figure out what they're going to do. And then after all that happened, the people in control of the government were even threatening to change things up and not allow what the people voted on to take effect.
Okay.
And they were going to change it. And so there's a bunch of back and forth that went on that as well. But in the end, they couldn't get it together and come up with anything that they were able to come to consensus on changing before the new law took effect. And now here we are. How many months later? It's been a while. I'm trying to remember, when did Ohio actually go legal?
It was only a couple years ago.
No, I think it was November of 2023.
Okay.
If I recall correctly.
Yeah, that sounds right. Because last year was the first full year that they were legal, as far as I was hearing people talk.
Yep. So, anyway, now they're finally looking to actually start changing things. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just find it interesting that government just moves really, really, really slow unless they want to move fast. It's really hard to get government to want to move fast.
Praying for you, brother.
Oh, man. Yeah, they didn't know what they were voting for. That sounds like a quote from one of the politicians that was confident that it wasn't going to pass. Oh, here's a great question from Christopher on YouTube. What is the maximum amount of time you can keep a tip with the gaskets on submerged in alcohol?
Oh, that's a great question.
Isn't that a great question?
Keep that thought.
How long have you soaked a tip with O-rings on it in alcohol, Jeremy?
A very long time, because I have
like more than 5 minutes?
Oh yeah.
More than an hour?
Yeah.
More than a day?
Yep.
More than a week?
Getting maybe a week, just a little bit over a week. But
okay.
Like until my alcohol
evaporated.
And then I come back, and it's kind of, that's what sucks about when your alcohol evaporates, because it kind of dirties it again, because all the sediment,
all the stuff you dissolve.
Yeah.
Now,
so it's like, I just got to redo it. But I'm telling you what, my O-rings have always held up in an alcohol, but it doesn't matter if it's been that long or not. It seems to not really affect them in any sense.
And it's not likely to, okay? Because
the
O-rings that we've used on our devices from the very beginning have been rather resistant to alcohol.
Yep.
Okay. Now, that's not to say that our O-rings have never changed. Okay. The very first O-rings that we used way back in 2015 were silicone, and silicone and alcohol get along reasonably well. Mm-hmm. But silicone O-rings are really soft. They're not very abrasion resistant, and they tear very easily. So we changed the O-rings to Viton or FKM, because Viton's technically a trademark name to DuPont.
Okay.
And same chemical compound, because it's no longer under patent. That's why you can get them other places. Viton and alcohol, they don't mind each other at all. They can hang out for months, probably even for years. Just nothing to be concerned about.
I was going to say, the only thing that I have found after all my uses is like friction would be the only thing that is going to wear out the ring.
Yep.
Right? Like, just too many pull-offs and turn-ons, but it takes so many. I mean, it's after so long.
But it brings up a really important point, and that is
lubrication would help.
Lubrication makes a big difference. Okay, so after you've cleaned your parts, especially using a solvent like alcohol,
I don't even think. What do you think about vinegar? Is vinegar that much different?
That I need to. I want to research. I haven't looked up vinegar, because in general, I just haven't soaked my parts in vinegar for extended periods of time.
Right.
I'd be surprised if vinegar makes a big difference, but I'm not going to say definitively one way or the other until I know for sure.
I want to try. Yeah, okay. I'm tossing something in vinegar tonight.
But
I'm gonna try it. Apple and
when it comes to alcohol, though, it's no issue.
No.
In terms of the alcohol damaging the O-rings, but not quite that simple.
Okay.
After you've cleaned your parts that have O-rings on them in alcohol, they are very, very dry.
Yeah.
Okay, which means they have a very high coefficient of friction when you start to put your parts together, and this can be problematic because that's what's going to damage your O-rings. Is the friction. So.
Or a pinch, right?
Yeah.
The O-ring slides off its spot. It can get pinched in between.
Yep, get pinched. It can get sliced, and just other things that tend to damage it.
The slice has been a complete damage. You know what I mean? Then it's gone.
And I love some of these comments. Right? I see several people talking about that O-ring lubricant that everybody has,
Oh yeah. For sure.
right?
Right.
And it's usually an adequate supply because the amount of lubricant to make your O-rings go together is so small. It's actually hard to describe how small it is.
Yeah.
Other than you take your finger and wipe across your face. You probably have enough O-ring oil on your finger now to lubricate your O-rings.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I've also taken if my O-rings just don't want to cooperate, right? If you don't have lubricant handy and you don't want to use a little bit of oil from your skin, you can just give a little bit of a breath into the stem, and it's not gonna last. So you have to do that again because now you don't have any lubricant that's on your O-rings. You just have a little bit of moisture that condenses on your stem, so you can get the parts together.
Okay.
And it's really the assembly, and to a limited extent the disassembly, that you get the friction that damages your O-rings. And I see people using saliva too. It actually works just fine. It's not gonna really hurt anything. Dynawax works pretty good for the O-rings. Yeah. So, if you want your O-rings to last a really, really long time, lubricate them. Oh, I like this. Same 2018 O-rings on my device till this day. Lubing them once midway through the year. See, I just love hearing stuff like that. So, speaking of those sorts of things, you brought a few things along, right, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, I got some really cool stuff to show. I got some of my favorite collection.
Yeah? Oh, can't wait to see.
My most favorites. They're all. I'm 99% sure that all of these to be shown have never been used.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
they're all fresh.
Molly Coat 111.
And I just wanted to show how I kind of clean my stuff.
Yeah.
So we have some alcohol and
I'd love to see that.
just a little cup because I think that's all we're gonna need for it.
We move this so it's a little bit more out of the way.
But yeah,
All right,
should we start with
see.
some really cool collection?
Okay.
Are you gonna love
Yeah,
this
let's.
one?
Do you want the close up?
Does it work? Yeah, try it.
Let's see if it actually works. Oh, look at this. It's actually working today.
It's actually working.
Can you believe that?
And it's working right. It's
I mean,
cool.
it's not been working on how many other days, right?
Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't make much sense. When it
No,
wants to work, it does.
Exactly.
All right. So, first up, we got an OG. Look at that. And yes, it's got the black rings. What do you think?
Oh, look at that. Black ones.
Yep.
So, those O-rings there, okay, technically quad rings.
Cap.
Those are actually not FKM or Viton. Okay. Those are Buna, which still shouldn't be a problem with alcohol. But when we changed the color of our O-rings to gray, since we had to make them all custom, we just decided to make all the O-rings all the same material and just keep it simple.
There's the old. Unused. Oh, weird. It's zooming that way. That's fascinating.
Is the phone tipping?
No, it's zoomed over there. Like,
Wow.
That was odd.
That's kind of funny. Okay, so that's
All right.
that's
so
an unused
Yep.
original M, huh?
Yes. Let's see.
Wow.
what's in here. Ooh, here's an interesting one. So there was a.
Oh, that's a 2019 Phantom M.
Yeah, and it's got like.
It's got some coolness to it.
Yeah. So, got the Phantom. It's got the perforated cap on it. but it's got some really pretty rainbow right here. So that one's pretty sweet. Alright, let's keep going. What do we got?
So, Jeremy, do you ever do anything with your ABV?
I used to hold it.
What did you do? I see a question about how do you use it after baking?
Well, it's already cooked. It's like I don't know if anybody's ever dabbled in butter or whatever, but it in order to be edible, it needs to be treated, right? So that's kind of the idea, and your ABV is already
The camera's
so
moving
weird.
around again. What the heck?
It's got a mind of its own.
Why?
Look at, I got a shadow.
That's so odd.
But if you
it's
just
like looking for a face, you got to keep moving your hands because the camera keeps moving.
I think that it's just like it's edible in any sense. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's ready to be thrown in a batch of cookies. It's ready to be just thrown in some peanut butter. I mean, it's all ready to go, and it's already like pre-toasted. So I mean, if you don't mind the taste of like toasted material, then it's all ready to go, basically. Or you could try to oh, here's another one. I have actually two of these. I think they're just a little bit different.
Oh yeah, that's the first colored M is right there. That's the shadow M.
Yep. Yeah, these were when I first like kind of came on board.
Does that one have...
when before this was released.
Oh, so does that one have black O-rings?
Nope, I don't think so.
Well, maybe it should.
Really? It originally had black O-rings.
I'm not saying that it did.
Okay.
But we've got black O-rings.
Oh yeah,
So
that would be great. Because I have one with gray. All right, let's see.
let's swap them out.
Oh, here's an. Might already showed that one. All right, now I got some really unique stuff here. Look at that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So this was a heat color treated, right? Omni.
It must be a... I mean, with the blue light, it's hard for me to really tell what color that is.
Yeah, see how it's got like this...
Wow, that's got a number of different colors
I know.
in there.
That's why I was like, what? Yeah, that's my...
What are we supposed to bring back there, Mr. Odo? And maybe we should do it's 9 o'clock.
I got a gold.
Maybe we should do a little giveaway. Give away some parts or something.
Gold Omni. This is just so pretty to look at.
So, I saw a question about rust. Let's get back to that. Maybe I saw that.
Oh, and I got one of these Q-Berts.
Oh yeah, those are fantastic.
I call it the Q-Bert because it just reminds me of that Q-Bert game that I used to play on Nintendo when I was little squares he jumps on.
Okay, so the Shadow M, because of how it was, because how the color was turned dark, I was using a process called carbonitriding, that or case hardening, that diffuses carbon into the steel, right? In this case, stainless steel.
Right.
When you put stainless steel through that process, it becomes less stainless.
Okay.
And more steel. So it'll rust if you're not careful.
You don't even have to use that much alcohol if you use a small device
So
like
you're putting a little bit of alcohol in, right?
Yep.
So now you're just dropping your parts in?
Oh, I'm going to use the small one. So
Okay.
just condenser. I just drop it in, yeah. I just like, this is how I soak my stuff. I
You
do
soak-
try to
you
pop the
soak
screen
your
out.
wood?
No.
No?
No, I don't have to worry about that because as long as you have a condenser, nothing should be touching that area. I need something to push this out.
What do you got to push
I'll
out?
just use it. Trying to get my screen out.
Okay.
because you can just drop your screen in, right?
Yep.
And
Yep. Screens don't mind alcohol.
there it is.
You gotta tip in there.
And sometimes I just like to soak it to break up the material, so it's easier for me to go in, swab it. I'll use like 2 swabs, so just a tiny bit of alcohol,
Yep.
2 swabs, and that's like my clean situation. Yep. But I gotta let soak for just a bit now, because those are actually green pieces.
Yeah. So, yep. I'm with you right there. Don't fear the deletion. If you put a colon in the chat and it gets deleted, that just means it's been recognized and entered into our giveaway. So no sweat on that.
Yeah, I always twist the swab ends because they're a little bit like, I don't want the fibers to get kind of like locked in there.
You know, I'd like to hear comments in terms of how many people have lost a CCD into the ether.
Oh my gosh, so many.
So, you've lost one, Jeremy?
The worst part is when you don't know you lost it and you go fill your Dynavap with material. I've done this so many times.
Yeah.
Where I've filled it up, and sometimes it actually works. It depends on your pack, right? Like if you don't use a grinder, and you're just packing pretty big material in it, you might not notice you lost your screen.
Yeah, if you haven't, if you don't have a fine, dry, crispy grind.
Right, but if you have a grinded, you might just eat a lot of that.
They're kind of challenging to contain. It seems like once they leave the tip, sometimes they actually shift into a different dimension. Yeah, right?
Well, I play guitar too, so they kind of have the same. They must go to the same place as guitar picks. They must just follow them into there must be somewhere there's just a pile of CCDs and guitar picks that are just hanging out. You know what I mean?
Seems like we could make a cartoon about like,
like
where lost items go.
I feel like a Scrooge McDuck vault with CCDs.
Oh man.
Just lost in time. Yeah, when they bounce out, they're gone.
I love playing I Spy with CCD on the ground. Well, something I've noticed is we've got some epoxy floors in some of our work areas, and they have like those speckles. And it seemed like a good idea at the time, make the floor look a little bit nicer.
Right.
But holy cow, does it make it difficult to find things.
Yeah. Or like if your carpet's any bit long.
Oh, yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, CCDs they can burrow into carpet.
You know who likes my CCDs? My cat.
Your cat?
Yeah. I'll just see her walking around with a CCD in her mouth.
What?
And I'm like, what?
In her mouth?
Yeah, she'll grab them off the like if I lose one, she'll find it.
Right.
The cat will find it and she'll go and she'll like have it in her mouth and she'll just drop it in random places in the house. She does it with a lot of things.
Okay, so you can blame your cat.
Oh yeah. Literally can blame my cat, or I can blame her for finding them. Like she finds them.
Wow,
it's hilarious. Sometimes she'll just come drop them by me.
Wow. Well, I gotta check that out.
Oh, I have this on my hand.
1,300 pictures of just Dynavap from 2015 to 2017. So we got a whole new archive coming together. That's really cool. And Mr. Razmataz has the Dynavault, which is kind of like an online repository of a whole lot of different variations that we've done over the years. Helix versus titanium CCD.
Do you mean stainless steel versus titanium?
Yeah, I don't know if I quite understand that question.
You mean stainless versus titanium, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, personally, if I care which one. I mean, I'm just being...
No, it's a good question, right? You know, between the two different CCDs.
I'm sure there's a difference.
Oh, there absolutely is a difference.
Yeah, but I just don't know if it bothers me enough to, like, I need the titanium CCD. I mean, tell me something that would be a difference. Like, I know the heating property for sure.
Well, the biggest difference between the CCDs is kind of how resilient they are.
Ah.
Okay. So the stainless steel CCDs are a little bit more springy than the titanium ones. So they tend to hold their shape a little bit better. And as Rick just said, they're also slightly magnetic. So when I say slightly, I mean, it's not much.
No, it's not.
But it's more than nothing.
Right.
And so you can use a magnet to help find them occasionally. But I do like some of the shapes, and the patterns.
Oh, that's
which is fun.
Yeah, it's so good.
CCD acronym for cat.
Clean my pieces.
Oh, cool. Looks like we got a couple winners on our first giveaway for tonight.
All right.
Are your parts clean?
Yep, I think so.
Do you need to switch cameras? Or
you can.
It's probably good.
I mean, I can just show them here too.
See. So just using a little bit of
I just
isopropyl alcohol, right?
Yep. I soaked it in alcohol, and then just to break everything up, and then I kind of just go through with my Q-tip.
Look at someone else using Phantom M as a daily driver.
Oh, that's amazing.
What's the blinking ball in your ISO?
Just a toy.
You want to talk about your other ball?
Just a toy. It's a light up ball.
Do you think the iPhone thumbs up just because it thinks the cap mic is a thumb? I don't know. When I drink my tea, it was doing that too, right?
That's clean.
Nice and clean?
Yeah. What was happening? Oh, the thumbs up.
Kept doing it. Thumbs
it was
up.
so weird because you didn't really do anything and it did it. Because I think
know.
if you do stuff, it does it, or you can like make stuff pop. Yeah. See, there we go.
Oh.
Fireworks. Yeah.
Okay.
There's special things that you can do. So it thought you did something.
Okay.
All right. And then I do go through the condenser. So I try to kind of ball up the end of my Q-tip. And then the fact that it's so tight is good because you only need
good scrubbery,
one
right?
good push through it. Yeah.
Should you wait to heat the tip after ISO wash? I mean, it's certainly not a bad idea to make sure
and
it's
then just get it
dry.
through the other side, and bingo.
Look at
That's
that.
basically it.
Nice and clean.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's super clean.
How often do you clean? How often do you clean?
A lot of times the
cap?
mouthpiece isn't very dirty anyway.
No.
So. It just gets lip stuff on it.
Yeah.
Lip material is basically all it usually gets on it. And that's it. And then, I get screen, but like that just cleans itself basically in there.
Yeah,
that doesn't,
pretty much. You can
doesn't-
kind of rub it between your fingers, rub it on a paper towel. It kind of takes care of it.
The question is, can I heat this with a torch to clean it? Because I used to do that, but I feel like it kind of was making my metal a little changed.
I'm glad you say it that way, right? Can you use a torch to clean a CCD? The answer is sure you can. It will actually clean it reasonably well. It will also reorganize the crystalline structure of the metal through a process called annealing.
Okay.
Which is a really neat thing if you're into metal work, because when you anneal metal, it makes it easier to do forming operations. In other words, easier to bend, and then when you bend it, it tends to stay bent because it hasn't been work hardened, or you've taken the temper out of it. Temper is a word that's used to describe work hardening. If you ever took wire and bent it back and forth a few times till it breaks, what you're doing is you're work hardening the metal and also generating some heat. It's not the heat so much that breaks the metal so much as it is the work hardening, and you'll notice as you do it, where you first bend it a couple times, well, then you go to bend it again, the bend starts to move away from where you started bending it.
Okay,
Why
so
does that happen?
Hardening.
Because you've actually hardened the metal by bending it. Okay. Well, if you take a torch and you heat that part of that bent wire where it doesn't want to bend anymore and make it glow, it anneals it or removes the temper, and now it's going to bend easily again. Okay. Well, this is the issue when you use a torch to clean your CCD. You take the temper out of the metal that was purchased and designed and engineered specifically to be a rather hard version of stainless steel and even titanium, so that it doesn't bend as easily and it tends to be a bit more springy. So after you've torched the CCD, they bend even easier.
Fascinating.
So
I was just going to tell everybody that I use my mouthpiece to click in my CCD.
Oh, I love doing that.
As long as everybody, like, that's the best way to do it. Because, of course, you got that trick where you can push it, you know, with the condenser, right? Halfway spot.
Yep. So that was one of the big things that we changed when we came up with the woodwind. It's like, let's do different style mouthpieces to make the end smaller. And as we're doing that, it's like, well, now we can make the mouthpiece into another type of a tool. So you can actually use it to set the CCD. And then it's like, okay, well, that's great. And we can use the mouthpiece facing the other way to help set it into the half position. So another question I wanted to get to. Is there any difference between iso and ethanol? And the biggest difference is cost. Generally because isopropyl alcohol is not very drinkable. In fact, I would strongly discourage anyone from intentionally consuming isopropyl alcohol.
No.
Just a small amount of it can actually cause blindness. Like permanent.
I've heard about this before.
It's not a good idea to drink isopropyl alcohol. And even ethanol is, I think, the more that I've looked into it, and I think the more that the studies are continuing to show, ethanol's not particularly good for you either. Your body tolerates it a little bit better than isopropyl, but either way, ethanol and isopropyl are going to clean similarly.
Okay.
They're both good solvents for cleaning product. The nice thing is, if you are going to clean with ethanol, it makes it a lot more appealing to use the leftover ethanol in a tincture or in some edibles or something else along those lines, because you're not going to have isopropyl residues.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
But the ethanol, right? Like, for example, if you just use vodka, standard vodka is only 40% ethanol.
Right.
Okay, it's 60% water, and it won't clean very well at all. There's just not a high enough percentage of alcohol, right? So if you're going to clean with ethanol,
it's got to be that Everclear stuff.
You want to get the highest percentage alcohol that you can, and it's rare that you can find ethanol that's more than 95%.
Yeah, there's some out there that they can light them on fire because they're so hot.
So once your alcohol percentage gets above about 70%, it becomes reasonably easy to ignite. So either way, alcohol in general is pretty good at cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think I used a really high percentage of alcohol to clean a really old guitar that had stickers on it from like the 60s.
Yeah.
And it was like tape across the fretboards from this person learning. So they were marking off like spots on the fretboard. And it was old tape. So I had to use something to like work it off, but also not soak the wood. So
Okay.
something that dry, it could dry a little faster.
I can't even legally buy ethanol on the west coast of Canada. Why is that?
That's
I must have
interesting.
missed something. Oh, someone. You see, people keep asking about your ball.
It's just a ball.
It's a ball. It's not a baller.
Just a light ball. Just a toy.
Yeah, like clean your dyno with moonshine. Yeah, that's the other problem with
Should put my ball in my wand.
a lot of the ethanol that's sold has chemicals put into it to make it difficult or potentially even toxic if you drink it.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. You have to file a special permit to buy ethanol. That's interesting.
Gotta be a scientist to buy ethanol.
But it's things are getting more and more like that because of I think I might get a bit opinionated here because of this war on drugs, right? Are you doing a durability test in your wand?
Yep.
Oh, I've had such good luck with these. I'm telling you right now, I know it still works. I'm not even questioning it.
Yeah.
But just to be clear,
Still works? Fantastic.
Well, let's just make sure it. Yep. All around
All
works.
right. It's really fantastic having
and that's warm. Yeah.
having a device just right around your necklace.
It's the way to be. Need more jewelry.
Oh. I wonder if that's actually where the word proof came from. Proof that it actually contains enough alcohol to be alcohol, huh?
Yes, I've definitely heard of Sturgill.
Does Sturgill have a Dynavac?
That's a good question.
Kicked your wand off my bed. Wow.
Oh, I have really abused a wand, and as long as the glass doesn't break on the inside, which it usually does not for me. I think you'd be better off or easier off breaking the glass by accidentally twisting your Dynavap in there.
Yes, that's more likely.
But dropping it, I mean, I just dropped it on a complete cement floor from probably about 3 feet.
Huh.
It was a really good drop too.
I mean,
I was spinning it like this, and it went.
Something just kind of occurred to me. If you live in a place where ISO is ridiculously expensive, and you can't get high proof ethanol, and you're looking for a nice solvent to clean your Dynavap, you might actually be able to dry out some ethanol. It might take a little while, but there's a way to actually remove water from alcohol without having to distill it or do a whole bunch of other fancy stuff.
Interesting.
And that is, you can take this compound called magnesium sulfate, which is also referred to as Epsom salts.
Yeah. Okay. I was just gonna say some salt.
If I got my terms right here. And this compound is actually a desiccant. So if you just buy the Epsom salts, put it in a glass dish and put it in your oven like 200 degrees or so. Go for it, Mr. Odo. Love it. It takes a little while. It'll kind of bubble a little bit. But what happens is that heat drives out all the water because that compound likes to absorb water. So
Interesting.
you can dry it out and then grind it up a little bit after it's cooled down but not just set out, especially if you live in a high humidity environment. And then I wouldn't recommend doing this if you plan on drinking the alcohol, okay? But you can filter it out because it's just powder, right? You can dump that in just regular vodka. I think I'm going to try it now and see how long it takes.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Just pour Epsom salts, desiccated Epsom salts into just regular vodka. You can remove a significant amount of the water from the alcohol because they'll absorb it, and then you let them settle, and you can pour the alcohol off the top.
Yeah, because it kind of dries it all out, right? So they'll have those left.
It just soaks up. It'll soak up the water, but not the alcohol.
It's fascinating.
I can't tell you what percentage alcohol you'll have, but it is a way that, without a whole lot of complexity, you can remove a fair amount of the alcohol or water from your alcohol.
Okay. And
give yourself a little bit of a supply of some higher concentration.
It's kind of funny. Not that I would be that interested in having it for myself as much, but I've always wanted to make rum. In one.
Why rum?
In one bottle.
Why?
I don't know. Vanilla. It's got vanilla and
okay.
It's got these interesting spices and stuff in it, and it just sounded like something fun to do that you just set it in a bottle on in your counter for a while. And I was just fascinated with the whole process, kind of how it's made. Because it's something that's been around for so long.
I like the molecular sieves like zeolite can also be used. Yes, it can. And no, if the colon gets deleted from the chat, it's just the chat. Well, what?
Uh-oh.
It seems like it's good on Twitch.
We got the Philly freeze.
Oh.
Hey, we're back.
Oh, okay. Now we're back. Well, sorry about that.
We had a freeze. I don't know what that was all about.
Okay. Well, if that's a technical problem we're going to have for today, I'll take it because we've had to deal with a lot worse, and the internet's been kind of inconsistent. But it was kind of seamless today. In fact, even the close-up camera decided to work, other than the unusual zooming that it was doing.
That was fascinating, man.
Yeah.
I wish we could control it. Yeah, but no, when it's windy, it's pretty... When it's windy, it's pretty hard to use a torch.
Now we're frozen on Twitch?
Must have had an internet hiccup or something.
But it seems like it's going on YouTube unless we lost on YouTube again. It looks like it is. Pretty good. Okay. We'll get you taken care of there. Find them cheaper anywhere than at the factory. It's kind of like kind of like going to the brewery or the the distillery or the cheese factory or pretty much any factory that makes anything that does tours. They usually have some really cool things that you can get. Just can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, if you care enough to want to come check it out, then we care enough to let you get what you want.
Oh, yeah, we love it when people come for a visit. YouTube doesn't look frozen here.
No, we're working on it.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That's good. Well, just kind of odd in terms of how the internet's been a little bit weird tonight. But not both streams, but just one on YouTube.
Oh, Nick's on YouTube.
I see that. Hello, Nick. Do we keep the factory after Willy Wonka?
come see.
I don't know if I should answer that, but there's a chance that there's someone in the chat that has been here. I'll let people that have actually come for a visit ask that question or answer that question. House remodel. Well, there's some really fun things. Should be there, a Buccaneer. I sent over some of the glow-in-the-dark bee stems just so that they'd be available for fulfillment just to have. I think someone is asking about the shirt, Jeremy.
Oh, this shirt? This was like I only made 4 of these jerseys because we were just testing a company out. So yeah. And they were very, very nice, but they were also a little bit high end, kind of. So it just like wasn't the right deal for what I was looking for. But it is very nice, and it's the totality. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what's so cool about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not monitoring Twitch on Twitch. My Streamlabs looks good. Yeah. This shirt here, I got these back in 2019.
Yeah, I love that shirt.
So we could have some cool shirts, mainly for Spanibus, because wanted the crew that we went to Spanibus with to have some cool shirts, and that was a pretty interesting trip. Speaking of that, Spanibus is coming up in, less than 2 weeks. In fact, yeah, 2 weeks from right now, Spanibus will be done.
Interesting.
Can you do a video showing the machines used for manufacturing? We've done a few videos that show a little bit of that, and we'll be certainly sharing more of that over the course of this next year. I want to give everyone more of an inside view of what we do here and how we do it. 'Cause I think it's very, very different than, to the best of my awareness, most other companies, especially in the industry that we're in. I love some of these comments; are just funny. But anyway, if you look up like the backstory on the M and the woodwind, you'll see some stuff in there. So yeah, we did a giveaway on YouTube a little while ago. Now, that's an interesting comment there. I'm gonna have to use a translate thing for that one.
No, Nick, on a one wheel with a Willy Wonka whistle. Way better.
Yeah. I think it makes...
Or an Uno wheelboard.
Yeah. These caps are just fun to mess with.
Yeah.
I hope that's not irritating them. I like them. Got the baller caps, got captain caps, all kinds of caps. YouTube audio's not going good. Oh, hello from Thailand. Okay, thank you. Well, Thailand, we're gonna have I think Justin from Chill Steel Pipes makes a chill bong. I think he's gonna be in Thailand soon. I think we can make these into instruments, right?
Oh, come on, yeah. I want to just hear like 50 of them, like going in some kind of a synchronization.
Attach them to like drumsticks.
Why not? Wait, wouldn't that it'd be like a snare drum without the snare needed?
Right.
Yeah.
Does that make it like a snare vap?
A snare vap stick. You do a little drumming with it, and then you can just use it. Heat it up just a little bit.
Well, I love seeing the gorgeous customs. March is a big month for Dynavap releases. What do we have to look forward to, please? We got a few things in the works, don't we, Jeremy?
Yeah.
You've seen a few of them, haven't you?
Keep tuning in.
Baller caps will be available.
Yep.
So that's coming. The thermal hyper cap will also be available. And there's more.
Question mark.
There's going to be, for sure, at Spanibus, some new things. And say there's a good chance that I'll be able to share even more details, maybe as soon as next Sunday. Have to tune in. And whatever we have that's cool, new, and interesting, this is the place where you can get it before you can buy it, because we'll just give it to you. Anyway.
Hey, get a hold for a tour.
Major summer plans. Well, this summer, if everything goes well, I'll be in Germany. So that might be kind of fun.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, and I see it is 9:36 in our part of the world. Yeah. More Dynapen stuff coming to.
Dynapen?
Yep. Gotta
See
do
my
it.
hat?
What? Oh, nice. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's ready to go right on my hat. But not just that. All I gotta do is pull this out. And we're basically good to go, right?
Yep.
There it is. Now it's just a condenserless hitter.
Okay. That'll work. I love it. Yeah. So I did have a conversation with the company that it was a good conversation because they confirmed that everything is still good in terms of moving forward with our new induction heater with the removable induction module.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got another meeting set up with them for tomorrow where I'm hoping that I'm going to get some of the answers I've been looking for, so I can have a bit more of a definitive answer for you. If I can get to Wisconsin, can I put in a job application? Sure, anyone can put a job application. You know, we're not looking to add a huge number of people, but it's always nice to know who's out there, and it's fantastic when you can connect with the right people, just are the right fit.
You just never know.
Yep.
You just never know. Unless you try.
Paper rice are going from Germany, they don't ship to the USA. Ooh. Is it the retro steam?
They don't ship to USA. I'm curious, yeah.
It's a possibility. You know, maybe I'll even just have them ship me a batch, and maybe we'll take care of that for them. Any more mini wins? Not right now, but
Future.
it seems like people really want those, so we've got to make more. It was interesting because there weren't many people that thought they were going to sell out quick. That's why we made a batch the size that we did. Anyway. Okay. Well, I think on that note, call it a day.
Yeah.
I've got a servo I
second.
got to go put back together. See if I can get one of our CNC machines operational again.
In other words, work doesn't stop right now.
Not this time of year. No, not at all.
That's great.
I've generally been sleeping at home, but I've been here pretty much about as much as I could be. And,
Omni 3
and it's, yeah, and it's not a complaint either. I actually really like coming here. It's cool stuff to do.
I love being here.
Yeah. So, anyway, thanks a bunch, everybody. We'll look to connect with you next week. If you haven't liked or subscribed, we'd really appreciate that. There's going to be some good news here. And look to see you next week.
Peace out.